the years, we've really dispelled the fact that all reptiles are just mindless killers. In fact, we've actually proven just how intelligent they can be.
And today we have a mirror, and we're gonna see if the reptiles can't identify themselves, and we wanna see how they act. I can't wait. Helen, look. Oh wait, you don't have eyes.
Mike.
We're actually gonna try the mirror because a mirror test has been used by scientists to prove how smart an animal is or if it knows itself. And we're actually gonna start with baby Kush.
Only a few things have passed this test: humans, chimpanzees, and actually some marine mammals. Today we want to test reptiles and see if any of these guys can actually recognize themselves.
So let us know down in the comments if you think any of the reptiles here at the zoo are gonna pass the test. But for now, let's get started with baby Kush.
He's coming up, he's approaching the mirror.
Should we put it in front of him? He's definitely looking. He's okay. Wait, he definitely went nose to nose with it. He didn't get aggressive, which was interesting. I don't know if he was actually visually seeing. You know, it's hard to say, right? I don't know if he just didn't care or just didn't realize. I think he has the highest possibility for intellect.
I don't disagree with you at all. The only thing is they are loner animals though, so they wouldn't see a lot of themselves naturally.
See, he still saw himself. I watched him look at himself, and he still turned away. He can't even see Salt move without reacting.
Definitely, like during open hours when people are in the fish spa and he kind of tries to jump at him. That's really interesting of what his reaction was.
We'll push away and move on to the next thing.
I'm just very curious if we'll get a different reaction from Elvis. I expected a little bit more, but it's hard to say if we're gonna get a better reaction out of Elvis versus Kush.
The next most dangerous animal that we have, right? So bearded dragons are fun because as babies, sometimes they hang out, but as they mature, the males will actually get very territorial and they want to only have a female once in a while. But if there's any other babies or anything, the males will actually kill them and eat them. So we're gonna see how Brad reacts.
What's that?
He had a little foot movement. He doesn't really seem to be reacting to it. His beard's staying the same. He's barely even moving his head. I think he's just more interested in what we're doing.
He is kind of, now that he's touching the mirror, just like a human the first time they see a mirror. You don't understand what a mirror is.
I don't know off the top of my head if a bearded dragon can see in full color, full spectrum, all the things. Is this really what it looks like to us, to him? Wow. So intelligent. Ooh.
That tongue's getting, yeah.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Do a little taste test.
These animals are going to use all of their senses to figure out what their surroundings are. And that's what he's doing right now by using his tongue to kind of taste what is that and kind of glean that information too. How funny is this? Because I would have expected more of this from a Kush type of animal than a bearded dragon, you know? Yeah. Whereas he just didn't seem to really care at all.
So strange. Yeah, no, I care.
This is so funny because now my bet is going to be we're going to get better reactions from the smaller animals than the bigger, which my initial thought would have been reversed.
No, I mean, I think that makes sense only because Elvis too, like he gets to walk around this place all the time, so he doesn't really react to other animals. Now, like Toothless though, will try to eat other things through the glass, so that might be the one that we get the most reaction from, but I don't know. Yeah. There's only one way to find out. You let go of the rock with your tail, dude. There we go. Holy crap, he's heavy. Upsy daisy. There we go. Okay, we're going.
We haven't been studying reptiles for all that long, so doing things like this are actually really important for us to just kind of glean their knowledge and see like how smart they are, figure out, you know, what the level of intelligence is. Let's go check out Elvis and see what he thinks.
He's put on a couple of LBs. Ooh, hang on a second.
Hold on.
Giving us a better reaction than Kush did. This is cool.
Kush really disappointed me, I won't even lie.
Yeah, I'm just very surprised of the outcome. That didn't make sense, but this is what I would have expected the whole time.
They're right around the same level of smartness. Kush is just a lot more reactive to things.
So is he actually like looking at the reflection, or is he just investigating the actual mirror, like the surface?
I know he can definitely see himself.
Keeping the nose to the glass, like he is going off to the frame but keeps coming back to the glass. Maybe that is going towards more of the reflection versus figuring the surface, right?
Oh my God.
I mean, he's nose to nose with himself. I think he's trying to kind of figure out what the reflection is.
It's so hard to tell.
Definitely the most interesting reaction we've gotten so far. This is crazy.
Because also, is he just smelling Brad on the mirror?
Or is he trying to like feel the thing, but it's just a flat surface? Like he sees a three-dimensional object, but it's a two-dimensional feel.
They are very touchy-feely.
Yeah, like they'll use their face to investigate a lot. What do you think, Elvis?
I think it speaks something. He's definitely not aggressive.
He's not making any noises.
Right.
He's obviously not freaked out.
He seemed very interested to me in that. Very interesting. I'm happy with that response. He's still very interested in it. When he's walking around in the enclosures, when he's looking at the things in the enclosures, he does very similar things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think he thinks he sees something. Whether or not he thinks it's himself is very hard to tell.
Yeah, and I think Toothless is gonna be a lot more reactive. If he doesn't react, it'll blow my mind, because Toothless is one that will go to Elvis's enclosure, smell up and down the glass, so then when he sees Elvis, he'll try something because he thinks he's got that Napoleon complex. So he tries to be bigger than he is. This is Elvin, our ornate Euromastix, and we already got a little bit of a reaction from Brad the Bearded Dragon, and these guys do live in groups too, but typically, again, only one male. So let's see how he reacts. He said, what's that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, look up. Elvin, look up.
Oh my god.
I'll say if that tail starts wagging, he's definitely saying like, hey, who are you? Get out of my space.
It does make sense that we kind of see this reaction from these type of animals that do tend to live in groups, right? Because they are going to be used to seeing other types of the same kind of animal together, but we're just looking to see, A, does he recognize himself? B, does he also just think it's another male and then get that aggressive reaction that a lot of other males would get?
Kept going back to himself. He licked it a few times right on the nose. Does he think that's him? And that's why he's like not freaking out or getting upset. Like, what did the dolphin do to give it away that it knew it was itself? Oh, that's me! Like, I don't know.
Why don't we try a mammal? We got a couple mammals here to see what they think of the mirror. Are you ready, boys?
I think Bones is ready.
All right.
3, 2. Who's that? Oh, okay. Who's that? No, not me. Go that way. Who's
He
that?
just keeps giving high fives. There you go. Oh, you give kisses.
Gotta clean the mirror. If you guys have a dog at home, you probably have a mirror that they can see all the time. Do they react? Put it down in the comments.
Because I've seen both, right? I've seen dogs look like they've known themselves, but then I've seen dogs that are thinking it's another dog and they're playing chase with it.
Yes, exactly. I don't know that the intellect there, again, is enough to actually recognize their self. Because number one, how would they even know what they look like? Number two, I think anything you get reaction-wise is probably going to be thinking it's another.
Scientists deem that dogs' intelligence is that of like a 5-year-old. Do you think a 5-year-old human would recognize themselves in the mirror?
Yeah, 100%, right?
So, what if a 5-year-old never saw a mirror before?
Never
And
had their
that-
mom pointed out. Or dad pointed
Exactly,
out.
because that's also the difference is they're raised as a baby and a lot of times seeing a mirror and getting used to the fact of what a reflection is. To understand that, I'm just basing it off like my grandkid. If you took, you know, a 5-year-old that never did and placed him in front of it, mentally working it out of what is this, I think they could probably figure it out eventually, but I don't think initially they would understand it. Why don't we move to something that we have a higher chance of getting a reaction to?
This is a good reaction.
Puppy love!
Stitch, do you see yourself in there? Ooh. Do you see yourself? Stitch honestly doesn't really seem to care. We've been putting like the puppies by him, and I mean, he lives in between a sloth and a porcupine. I think that we have probably the most desensitized binturong.
Well, the good news is now I smell like popcorn.
Yes.
Instead of Elvis?
It's a much better.
Yeah,
it's
instead
a
of
much
quail.
better soup.
Is that you, Stitch? Is that you?
You can even see he's trying to smell it.
Yeah.
He is. He's trying to taste himself.
I find it interesting how many of these different types of animals are doing the lick test. We
Yeah.
are seeing that, you know, almost every time.
I can see the residual.
Kush didn't really care about it, which is weird.
Wow. Are you sizing yourself up? Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Did he get scared because he was like, oh my God, there is another one? Or did he get nervous because he's actually really smart and he's seen the mirror move and he thought he was going to fall on himself?
Yeah.
I think the movement scared him.
I think he's a lot smarter than we think. So before we get to Toothless, we gotta try the Frillies. Most of our animals here are, again, very desensitized to seeing other animals, but not to seeing themselves. So let's see what French Fry and Cujo think about themselves.
Does this mean he knows that it's himself? Because when he saw Cujo, or Whopper, whatever you want to call him, he reacted. But now that he sees himself in the mirror, he's not really reacting. Or now does he think it's himself? I don't know.
He's probably all sorts of confused. I'm confused by what you're saying.
Well, that's the whole point of this, to see if they recognize themselves, right?
So I think we put him back down.
This is interesting.
Trying to, it's kind of hard because it's not only themselves in there, but it's also the reflections, I think, of us, the movement, so it's hard for them to like really focus in on one thing. Isn't this so funny? I swear. The ones that we're expecting the biggest reactions for are actually getting the smallest reactions. We thought for sure because of what these guys are, it would be more high reaction, where I don't think they're reacting to the mirror, they're reacting to our movements. I think we try one more that I think both of us, we'll see if you do too, think the highest reaction's gonna be.
Oh, I said it. That was the first thing I said when I walk in.
Toothless?
If he doesn't react, I'm gonna be so bummed.
There's no way that he's not gonna. We see him every day at open hours, goes crazy in the reflection.
There we go. Come on, do something.
Oh, well, so did you see the change in the tongue flip? It was very slow, and then like as soon as he noticed them,
Yeah, he's trying to smell what that is. But it's still so strange that he's not doing anything. If that was Elvis, he would be hitting the glass. He would be trying to bite.
I think that just shows though, like that they're so much smarter than like we actually think.
So do you think Toothless is one of the 5 animals that have recognized themselves?
I wouldn't say knows it's himself, but I would say I think that he knows that that is not another monitor.
Non-reactive at all, and honestly not even interested. There's no way for us to know because obviously the animal can't speak. I don't think it recognizes itself, but I also think because there's no smell or anything to go with it, it is also not recognizing the reflection as another animal.
They aren't necessarily used to a mirror, but they're used to seeing their own reflection. They're used to glass. It basically has desensitized them. That is not to say that if we took one straight out of the wild or that has not lived in this environment, if they've seen themselves, we probably have a completely different reaction.
One more?
He's already down.
Let's see if Tabasco reacts to himself in the mirror.
I can't see anything.
Well, he's right at the mirror.
I mean, he's looking at it, he's bobbing his
Just,
head.
as you guys know, many iguanas can be very territorial. Although they are a communal species, they are very territorial. Basically, unless it is mating season, they do not want to be with each other. And Tabasco is obviously agreeing with me right now. The other thing about Tabasco is he is one that does not see other animals except for whoever is living across from him. So this is probably a shock to him.
I mean, he's definitely looking.
Oh my God.
Yeah, don't put your face there.
Don't put my face there, guys. That's what you were supposed to say.
I just did.
I would say that's a pretty good reaction. I definitely think that he recognized something.
Yeah, I don't know that he recognized himself. I think he did recognize another, maybe iguana.
He was touching it, he was smelling it, he was kind of doing the lick again.
Exactly.
Doing the dewlap display. Like, look at me, look how big and bad I am.
Yep.
But then, nothing.
Either way, guys, why don't you let us know in the comments down below who you think the best reaction was. And we'll keep doing a lot more tests and see if we can really figure out how smart reptiles really are.
Speaking about.
One, two.
Speaking about.
Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, there's a playlist that you can watch all kinds of videos. You can also hit that subscription button. It would mean a lot to me. Also, hit that like button while you're down there. Have a wonderful day, Reptile Army. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you in the next one.